Hello everybody, welcome to this slightly longer yoga class. We've got a meditation to look forward to at the end, and we're taking it easy here, lying in Shavasana and just observing the breath. Let it come, let it go. Notice how it feels in your body. One of those ways in which we can hone interoception is just being aware of the breath. One of those processes in the body that is always there, that we can be very easily aware of, but most of the time we aren't. So it's a nice way to start a session, I think. And then bring your hands onto the chest and stomach. You might guide a few breaths slowly in and out. Or you might decide to just observe that feeling of the breath and the heartbeat. And then feet together, knees apart in Supta Baddha Konasana, the reclined angle or sleeping angle. And you might feel a slightly deeper arch in your lower back. Just be aware of all of those little things as you're lying here. Now the stomach expands and folds. And we stretch the arms up over the head. Bring the feet to the ground, knees gently go from side to side, not too far. We'll move into the wrists and fingers. And then slightly bigger movements of the knees going from side to side. Raising one butt cheek and then the other in the process. And of course, we're arching the back a little bit here. You want to feel that as a whole side stretch, dropping the knees to the right and staying. Even in the left hip, so the whole of the left side, and then drop your knees to the left side and stay there for a little bit. And slowly back up. Hips a little bit further to the left if you want, and then drop the knees to the right. Right foot could come on top of the left knee, so just to deepen that a little bit more. And if you had your hips where they were before, that's fine as well. Just needs to work for you. Comfortable in the whole of the body. Relaxing the head, raise your knees and change sides. Again, hips could slide over to the right side a little bit more as you drop your knees to the left and bring your left foot, if you want to, on top of the right knee. And we come back up, hug your right knee in towards you and keep it close to you as you guide it to the left side, coming into a twist. So you could use your left hand, hook it under the right knee if you want, and then turn your head to the right if you want. Lots of options, all just if you want. You can feel the breath in the right side, I'm sure, as well as in your back and in the front of the upper body. And then slowly release. Feet to the ground. Take a moment to hug the knees in towards you in Pavanmuktasana. Just noticing how you're stretching into the lower back with that as well. And slowly from here, change sides. You want to hug your left knee in towards you, stretch out the right leg, and bring that leg over to the right side. Head could turn to the left if that's comfortable. Again, everything needs to work for you, needs to be feeling good enough in the neck. Not just good enough, perfect. We're staying for too long to make this just good enough. And keep that left shoulder heavy as well. And with twists, there's obviously so many different ways of doing them. Find where you're comfortable rather than going somewhere that may look like what I'm doing right now. So your body is your teacher. All the signals it sends are more important than my little pointers. But I'm also here. Roll onto your back. And again, feet to the ground, knees come up and in towards you, but this time push the knees out a little bit. And then you might bring the hands onto your ankles or tops of the feet. In fact, let's say ankles, because then we can move into the feet in a moment. And again, we want to feel that length of the back firmly on the ground. And then we start to move into the toes and into the ankles. And if you're drawing full circles with your toes, then you can change direction, of course. And then flex your feet and raise them towards the ceiling. Hands wherever they're comfortable. That could mean the feet, could be anywhere else as well. You could grab hold, if you're wearing leggings or something, you could grab hold of them as well. Never think that this is how Happy Baby or Anand Balasana needs to look. The angle of the legs can be different. The hands can be elsewhere. Make sure your neck and your shoulders are comfortable. A little bit longer. It's a nice open posture for your upper body, so you should really feel the breath everywhere in the front of the upper body. And slowly release and raise your hands and raise your feet and just move into the hands, feet, arms, legs. To feel the hamstrings and the calves get a lovely little stretch or a deep stretch. And then arms to the back until they hover over the ground. So shoulders obviously on the ground. Now point your toes, bring your right foot down and raise it again. Bring your left foot down and raise it again. And for those who find that a little bit too easy, straighten your right leg and hover it over the ground. And then same with the left side. So we're going up and down while the arms should be, so your shoulders should be relaxed. You want to feel some heaviness in the arms. Of course, that's normal. We could spread the fingers wide. Just be aware of what the arms are doing here as you're dropping. And you could also bring your legs a little bit further forwards if you wanted to make this a little bit deeper for your core. Make sure that your lower back stays in touch with the ground. So don't overarch or anything. Neutral spine is fine as well, so don't overthink it, but try not to overcompensate with a super arched back, because the core might not be strong enough. And then knees in towards the chest, rock from side to side. And we rock up to seated. If you're comfortable with that, sit on your heels. If not, of course, you can change position. And we're going to start by dropping the ears to the shoulders, nice and slowly. And then going a little bit further down as well. So just a little bit of movement into the neck. It doesn't have to look like this. This is just a suggestion. Turning the head from side to side. Seeing how far is comfortable. Chin to the left collarbone, chin to the right collarbone. Going from one side to the other here. And then bring your chin from one shoulder to the other. Not quite as low. It's going a little bit higher. From there we're going to draw a circle with the chin. Keep it small if you want, and keep it slow, and then circle the other way. And then hands behind the head, chin to chest, round the shoulders forwards, drop, and then inhale, open up, dropping the head into the hands at the back. Gentle arch, elbows to the sides, and release. Arms go up. We breathe in and we breathe out and push the elbows down. Inhaling and maybe raising the head with that, and then exhaling, pushing the chin down, pushing the elbows down. And after this, reaching up and down into the W, bring the hands onto your shoulders and draw circles with your elbows. The head is straight, your jaw is relaxed. I hope mine is. I always relax my jaw. And every time you go to the front, the elbows could touch, but just see what works for you. And we go the other way. Lovely big circles. And then from here, arms to the sides, one hand down, the other hand up, and we change sides. So as one hand faces the ceiling, the other one drops down, and then hands onto the shoulders and out, and quite fast. Drop your right hand, send your left arm over to the right side. Hips could push over to the left if you wanted. Open the palm to the ceiling if you want. And then other side. Right arm reaches to the left. We look up, if that's comfortable. We look to the fingertips. And then from here, coming onto all fours. Slow circles around your wrists. And then we arch our back and look up. And as you next exhale, round your back, drop the head. And we'll make that into a smooth movement of inhaling and arching the back, looking up, exhaling, rounding the back, dropping the head, pushing the tailbone forwards, inhaling and arching, exhaling and rounding. And just so you don't get distracted by my rhythm, close your eyes, inhale and arch. And when you're ready to exhale, round. So let your breath guide you here. And inhale, raise your right arm. Eyes could be open, you could be looking up. That may not be your thing, and that's fine. And then we draw big circles with the fingertips. So not in a straight line, going as far in any direction that is comfortable. And then drop that right hand and send it over to the left side. And meanwhile, the left arm is going to the front, and we open the palm to the ceiling and send it as far to the right as we can. And that should feel nice. There comes a point where the fingertips want to rise. That's where you stop. Then release. Left hand pushes you back up onto all fours. Then we inhale and raise the left arm, and exactly the same thing on the other side. We stay up there for a moment longer, looking up if we want, and then we draw a big circle in all directions, just seeing what our range is, what feels good here. And from here, guide that left arm over to the right side, arm on the ground, head on the ground, and we open the right palm to the ceiling as we send it not just to the front, but then further to the left side. Lovely stretch that, if I do say so myself. As if I knew what was going on in your body. And slowly back, right hand presses into the ground and pushes you back. And then just take a little moment to round your back and stretch your right leg away from you. Toes on the ground, push your heel to the back and raise that leg, arching your back, foot to the head, rounding your back, knee to the dropped head. And as if we had known, inhale and arch, exhale and round, this time with that right leg going up and down. Good, now slowly, keeping the leg high, take your time. Raise your right arm, reach for the foot if you want. That is not the only option. We can bring the right foot to the ground and just raise the right arm. We could also go deeper by dropping the head towards the back. Definitely an option. May not be the one that you want. You could also look down to the ground instead. That's another option that may make you feel more balanced. And then release the hand, but not your right leg. And reach for that right foot with the left hand, looking to the left side, towards your foot there. Maybe just towards the back wall. Or in my case, the tabla. Lucky me. And we release and move a little bit to make us feel comfortable. And we're ready for the other side. I almost forgot. Yes, first we stretch that leg out, toes on the ground, push that heel to the back. I was too excited for the Viagrasana. So now Viagrasana, the tiger. Arch your back, left foot goes towards the head, round your back as the knee goes towards your dropped head. Inhale and arch, exhale and round, and listen to your breath as you do that. And then from here, just as we did on the other side, we raise the leg and keep it there and really slowly raise our left hand. So you don't have to be fast with that if it feels uncomfortable. Just find your balance first. Balance does not want to be rushed. And that head up or dropping to the back will obviously change your balance as well. It's more challenging than just looking down. So here too, find what feels best for you right now and stay there. It's not a reflection of your character. And then that left hand goes down, the right hand replaces the left hand, so we're finding that bind, chin to the right shoulder, looking all the way to the back. We might bend that left arm. Yes, I didn't say that on the other side. Maybe just leave that out if you didn't do it on the other side. I didn't see myself do that and obviously didn't remember. But yeah, if you want to have that little bit of strength here in your triceps, and your tricep. And round your back, drop the head, move into your body. And then tuck your right toes under, right foot comes to the ground. We raise the right knee and push our hips towards the back. Again, this is not how it needs to look. The hips can be much higher. We can use our right hand to press the right knee away. We can keep the right hand on the ground. We could raise it, drop it behind us, whatever works for you. Whatever feels good here. And stay for a little bit longer. Because I say so. Good, we come up onto all fours. We tuck the left toes under, raise that left knee, pushing it up, pushing it to the back. And again, you could stay higher. You could press yourself further to the back if that's within what feels good for you today. And left hand wherever it's needed, wherever it's most helpful. Back onto all fours. Now replace your elbows with your hands and maybe send them further forward. So this is optional. You just want to let your chest drop, forehead to the ground. And how far you go with this is completely up to you. So hips over the knees. Those who are really deep can bring the chin and chest to the ground, but it's maybe more comfortable for the neck as well to just have your forehead on the ground. And the hands can be on the shoulders. Sometimes that feels quite nice, like we've got this weight there and the shoulders can suddenly release. No, it's your own hands, but imagine someone giving you a massage and sometimes just a simple touch can release some tension. Now push yourself into child's pose. Relax your shoulders. So elbows, forearms on the ground, and then slowly roll up to come and sit on your heels and make sure you've got enough space in front of you. Inhale and raise your arms. Exhale and hands come to the heart center. We drop the head, we move into the neck. We just make sure we're comfortable after this Anahata Asana. We inhale and raise the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart center, and we tip forwards from the hip. Try to keep your buttocks in touch with your heels. Walk your fingertips to the front and drop as you look to the front. Whole hand onto the ground, knees, chest, chin, trying to stay low, elbows in and shoulders up, of course, as always. Now drop your hips, raise the chest into Cobra or Bhujangasana. And look to the right shoulder, elbows in, and then look to the left shoulder. And you want a little bend in the arms, not just the elbows in, but also bending the arms. And then tuck your toes under, push the hips up, coming into Asana or mountain pose, also known as downward dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend the legs and straighten one after the other, both at the same time, whatever works here to make you comfortable. Shoulders pressed to the back, long line from the wrists to your hips. And then we inhale and raise the right leg, moving into split dog. So flex your foot, drop the heel towards your buttocks. Look to the front and step to the front, dropping that left knee to the ground. Toes stay tucked under. We raise the arms and could bring our hands into Kali Mudra if we wanted. We'll come into a little back bend. And observe your breath. Good. Now we open up to the left side here. Right arm on the inside of the right leg. We might reach for our left foot with the left hand and look to the back. But if that's too much, obviously leave that out. If you need to adjust where your right foot exactly is, that's fine as well. Everything is allowed. Just staying in the posture, a posture, and observing the breath and letting yourself experience that pranic response of the breath and all that it sparks. How it may change your heartbeat, electricity in your body, and slowly come to the front and change sides. So you could release that foot if it gets too much. You could also pull it further in towards you. Everybody's different. Everybody needs something else. All you need to do is gently twist towards the right side this time. So obviously a deep posture, not something to be taking lightly. So work with your body. Step your left foot to the front. Just let yourself hang here. And then step your right foot to the back. And drop your right knee to the ground. Again, toes stay tucked under. And we raise the arms and look up. Very welcome to close the eyes here as well if you want.
Nothing seems right, 'cause when you're born, I lose my sight.
And no rush with this at all. Just reminding you I'm still here. Open up to the right side. So you want to drop that left arm and gently push it into the left knee so that that left knee doesn't drop inwards. Again, it's an option to grab hold of the right foot with the right hand. You don't have to do it. Just try to open up to the right side in some way, and your gaze is going to help you. So if you're looking to the back, if that's comfortable for the neck, and you're twisting enough to not overstretch your spine, your cervical spine, then that's fine. But otherwise, just wherever is comfortable for you. We change sides, we change direction, opening up to the left side this time. And just resting that right hand on the left knee, on the outside of the knee. You can use that a little bit to find that twist, to deepen that twist. Doesn't matter how deep you go, that's only something you can decide. coming back into child's pose. And getting heavy. Feeling the breath. And slowly from here, coming into Vajrasana again, raising the arms, sitting on your heels, reaching the arms high, and bring the hands to the heart center. We go again, breathe in, raise the arms. This time, arms next to the ears, breathe out. Keep that same long line. This is getting harder. You want to keep your buttocks heavy and slowly come forwards. Release your fingertips to the ground, palms at the hands. Look to the front, and on an exhale, knees, chest, chin, staying low. And you have the option of not going all the way down, but keeping your chest off the ground. So just an option. You don't have to go for it. Inhale and arch. Maybe a little deeper this time. Maybe in Purna Bhujangasana, where we're bringing the feet to the head. But again, this is just an option. And tuck your toes under, push your hips up, back in Parvadasana, mountain pose. And get nice and long in your body. And from here, inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, flex your foot, drop the heel to the buttocks. We inhale, look to the front. Exhale, step to the front. Sink your hips down, sink your right knee down, relax. Inhale, open up, hands onto our hips, maybe even further behind you. So the idea is that you want to come into a little back bend or a deep back bend if that's what you feel like. You could also have your hands on your knees for that. So whatever works for you here. I like having my hands on the ground, but that's also quite deep and may just not be right for you. And make sure your neck is comfortable. You could look forwards, depending on how deep you're arching as well. That will make a difference. And then slowly, hands walk to the front, framing that left foot. Tuck your right toes under, straighten your right leg, and then inhale, raise your left arm. As you might have guessed, if you can look up. If that's not your thing, look elsewhere. You could go deeper here and bind, but only do that if it feels good. It's also quite a deep bind. So even if you decide that you can, if it changes the way you're breathing, if it feels uncomfortable, don't. We might look up to the ceiling, we might look behind, to the back. Not behind, to the back of the room. And then before we know it, we come out of this posture. Hands to the ground, step your foot forwards, coming into a forward fold. And then inhale, step your left foot to the back. Sink your hips down, drop your knee, keep the toes untucked. And come into that same back bend with the hands wherever they're helpful. And also keeping yourself from going too deep if you don't want to. That's the nice thing about holding postures for a long time. It's really, really up to you to find your perfect comfort level. Wherever that is, that's where you want to stay. That is a wise posture. Listening to that inherent wisdom of the body. I know we all do it, sometimes we don't do that. Sometimes it's having that food or that drink that you're not supposed to have, but you want it anyway. And that's okay as well, as long as we're aware of it. Sometimes it's okay to push yourself. Hands come back to the front, and we tuck the left toes under and raise the knee. Raise your right arm from here into that lovely twisted lunge. You could bring the right arm behind you, left arm to the outside of the right leg for a bind. Playing around with where you're looking in order to change how you're balancing here. but all in the interest of becoming more aware of this posture, of how the body feels, of how the breath is moving through our body. Too much challenge will change the breath, will make it more shallow maybe. And that's not what we want. You could look down as well, so no right, no wrong. And then hands to the ground, and we step to the back, coming into child's pose from here. And we just take a few moments to relax and release. Make yourself very nice and heavy and soft in your body, and feel your breath in the stomach, in your back. And we roll up, raise the arms, and bring the hands to the heart center. Eyes can close, we'll stay here for a few moments. Feel your heartbeat, not just your breath, but that connection, that interplay of breath and heartbeat. And then inhale, raise your arms, look up. Exhale, fold forwards again, nice and slowly if you want. Inhale, look to the front, and exhale into Chaturanga Dandasana. If you want to, this could be knees, chest, chin, or Ashtanga Namaskar as well. I know, we're holding. Fun times. Knees to the ground if you want. And then drop your hips, raise the chest. Upward dog with your feet and hands on the ground, the legs off the ground, if you can manage. Sometimes the trick is to walk your hands a little bit further in. And from here, push yourself up into Parvatasana, mountain pose. A few breaths. And then we inhale and raise the right leg. And get long. Exhale, step the foot between your hands, left heel to the ground. You might have guessed it. We come up into Warrior One or Virabhadrasana. Ignore what I was just doing there. Focus on the posture. So you don't have to be too deep in this at all. It's more about staying and feeling, just being in your feeling body. That's all we want. Both feet firmly on the ground. Arms high and probably getting heavy, but you want to have that feeling of relaxation around the shoulders, around the neck. As always, you can close the eyes. And the breath comes and goes. And we're here to observe it.
Nothing seems right, 'cause when you're born I lose my sight. It's harder at night. The good and strong can show.
Slowly open up into Warrior Two. I suggest doing that with the eyes open if you're unsure whether the eyes can stay closed. And throughout all of this, your option is to keep the eyes open or to keep them closed, whatever you're comfortable with. So hands in line with the shoulders, don't let them drop, that could be higher as well. And that nice openness there in the hip, you want to gently press your right knee out. Having that feeling of actually being intentional in every part of the body. And the breath travels up and down, up. Straighten your right leg and drop into Trikonasana. So lots of options here. Hand could be half on the ground, all the way on the ground. Hand could be on the leg. We could hover the hand. We make that dependent on what the shoulders are up to. Are they on top of each other? Great. Do you want to bring that top arm to the front for a deeper stretch? It's all fine. Be comfortable where you are because we're holding. And listen to the breath. Notice if anything changes in your body, if anything gets too much, you can obviously move out of the posture, change the posture. We're not going far from here. Drop your Left arm behind you. Bring your right arm underneath you for a bind as you're bending that right leg. Head anywhere where it's comfortable. Or you could also just bring your right arm onto the right leg. That is, of course, an option. The left arm could go up, could go to the front, similar to what we did in our triangle here in Utthita Konasana. The extended side angle. Kon is the angle. Might have the eyes closed here too. Always a nice way to challenge yourself to see what we can do without looking around. And from here we slowly release and frame our front foot with the hands. Walk that foot further forwards to come into Hanumanasana. That may mean going all the way down. It may mean holding yourself in place. You might have to keep one leg bent or both legs bent. If you can, this is your chance to deepen more. You could even close your eyes here. But your breath will tell you if you've done the right thing, if you've done right by your body. So really listen in. It's not just there for fun. It sends you all these signals. And there's a big difference between coming into a posture to show that you can do it and being in a posture, living in it for a little bit of time. So allow yourself to stay, and you know you've chosen the right posture. So otherwise it would need to be changed, and that's fine. But then for next time we know that maybe we don't need to push ourselves. And just a few more breaths. Slowly release. Come out of here, slowly of course, we've stayed for a while, and make your way into Asana. Just coming forwards because we have deserved it, we've earned it. And you could bring your right foot further in, you could bring it further forward, so just play around with this and see where you want to be. And torso just gets heavy, your head gets heavy. And you're breathing into the body. And there's breathing going on in you, outside of you. Same thing. So as within, so without. Slowly come up. And then to come out of the posture, tuck your back toes under, step the foot to the back, walk it out, stretch it out, whatever works for you here. And then roll forwards into a plank and drop into Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees drop but hover over the ground as you push yourself to the back. And then the knees come down and we come into Child's Pose. Just the first of many, not that many, but you'll get another chance at doing that if you want. For the moment, just relax. Inhale, raise your arms, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And we inhale and raise the arms again, look up. Exhale, fold forward, slowly hovering for a moment and then releasing. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, all other options are okay as well. And obviously holding Chaturanga is not the easiest thing, so of course the knees could be on the ground. Inhale, drop the hips, raise the chest into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So again, legs off the ground if we can manage. And on an exhale, push the hips up, back into downward dog or mountain pose. And inhale and raise the left leg, getting ready for the other side. exhale, step your foot to the front, right heel to the ground. Inhale, arms go up, we straighten the spine. And then let's settle for this longer hold. So remembering that every part of the body needs to be comfortable with this so that you can stay for long. No pinch in the lower back. Eyes may be closing soon if that's wanted. Making sure that left leg is bent enough but not too much, just right for you, whatever that means for you. And there is no right or wrong. We just find our right and hopefully stay away from our wrong today. And tune into your breath. To every inhale and every exhale. Slowly prepare ourselves for moving into Warrior 2, not just yet. Maybe you want to open the eyes already, or you keep them closed. Now open up to the right side. You might check on your hands, making sure that they're in line. And just, again, as we did in Warrior 1, surrendering here into that Virabhadrasana as well. With that awareness of every part of the body, from the feet upwards through the ankles, lower legs and knees, thighs, especially that left inner thigh that we want to feel here, and the hips, your pelvis. You might sink deeper. Long spine, long arms that are getting heavy. We're feeling them. We appreciate that. It's good to feel the body. Not everyone can. It's also a luxury. I've said that before, I know.
The good and strong can show my eyes. Do you still think of me? I get a feeling you're lost in a dream. Told me I'm all that you need, but you're too far to even hear me scream.
And again, deciding whether we'd like to open the eyes or keep them closed. Straighten the left leg, keep the hips as they are, reach forwards and drop that left arm. Raise the right arm, potentially changing the position of the head. That's optional. Looking up or raising the chin to the right shoulder, if comfortable, if possible. And right arm could go to the front, doesn't have to. Find the best position for your left hand as well. You don't have to have it on the ground. If you're working with props, a block underneath you is fine. Otherwise, your leg will do. And hovering is always a good option if you want to work a little bit harder into your obliques.
The good and strong can show my eyes. Do you still think of me? I get a feeling you're lost in a dream. Told me I'm all that you need, but you're too far to even hear me scream. Don't let go.
And gently from here, right arm behind you, bend your left leg. Helpfully on this side, I'm showing left arm could go onto the left leg. The other side I immediately went to the hardest option, but I probably knew that you could handle it. Head position can change. As always, you want to make sure every part of you is comfortable here. That includes our lovely neck. And that holds our lovely head with all that knowledge. Again, it's not too late to change posture if you feel that there need to be little tweaks to make you more comfortable. And then let's release from here, hands to the ground. Drop your right leg and send your left foot further forwards. We could stay here. We do not have to go any further. But if you want, if your body feels ready, the option is there to come into Hanuman Asana. That deepest version would be to open up the torso to the left. So see where you are. You want to gently give your right hip a little nudge towards the front and down. So if you're there, of course, if your feet are on the ground, legs are bent, same thing. That right hip gently pushes forwards, but you'll obviously not be in that full Hanuman Asana. But as we know, that's fine. The story of Hanuman starts with Anjani Asana, or starts with Anjani, I should say, because that's Hanuman before he became Hanuman. Hanuman means disfigured jaw, and he got that name because he angered Surya, the sun god, by mistaking him for a ripe mango and reaching for him. And because Hanuman is a demigod, is Vayu, the wind god's son, he actually managed. So Surya struck him down, and Hanuman died. But Vayu then was so angered that he sucked all the air from the world, and all beings suffocated. So an emergency meeting was called, and they agreed that Hanuman would be reawakened to life, so that the world could go on again, and Vayu would give back the air, the oxygen to the world. But Hanuman needed to be, reminded of the fact that he did something wrong. So his name was changed from Anjani to Hanuman, again disfigured jaw, because that's where Surya, the sun god, struck him. And he had this disfigured jaw. But on top of that, he was also given the inability to retain the memory of his grandness, of all the things that he could do. And that is why this big leap to get the elixir of life for Ram, his best friend, whom he served, was such a massive leap, because he didn't know whether he could do it. By the way, we're coming into Raj Kaput Asana, into our variation of the king of pigeons. And I think that's a very human quality in Hanuman, and maybe one of the reasons why he's so well loved, because we can relate to him. We can relate to the fact that there may be so many things that we can do, but if we don't believe in ourselves, we can't, right? And we have to get to that point where we actually have that self-confidence to do something that someone else will already believe we can do, but we're not quite there yet. I think that happens a lot. Maybe it's just me. And then we slowly ready ourselves for moving out of Raj Kaput Asana. Hands to the ground, tuck the right toes under and step to the back. A little bit of a stretch here. And then, as we did before, roll forwards into a plank. Second chance to come into Chaturanga Dandasana. And then we push ourselves to the back, knees off the ground or on the ground, of course. Whatever you prefer. We inhale and raise the arms, look up, and exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale, arms go up, and exhale, fold forwards. Look to the front as you inhale, Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, Parvadasana. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, step the foot to the front. We inhale and come up into Ashwa Sanchalanasana, left knee off the ground. And we could try to close the eyes here. A little bit more challenging, of course, with the back heel off the ground. Not undoable. Give it a try if you want, maybe for a few seconds or a split second to begin with. And see whether you want to be deep in this or higher. It's all fine.
Nothing seems right, 'cause when you're born, I lose
And remember, your breath is your teacher. You want to listen to the breath. Always listen to your teacher. And next thing we'll do is not quite yet, but I'm preparing you, actually turn to the back. So you'll turn away from me. You'll open up to the left side, shift your weight into the back leg, dropping your arm and slowly stepping that right foot forwards and raise the right leg, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, or the half moon, at the back of your mat. Raise the head, flex your right foot as you raise it higher. You want to give that hip a little push rather than opening up. And you could hover your left hand over the ground. Balancing. Not an easy posture. And then grabbing hold of that top foot, right hand, with that left hand on the ground or off the ground, but on is maybe a little bit easier. And then you step that foot to the back, raise the arms, breathe in and breathe out, come into a wide-legged forward fold. Head could come to the ground. Your arms can be going anywhere where they're comfortable. Actually, this would be a chance to go into a headstand as well. I don't think I'm demonstrating that, but if you want to, go for it. Otherwise, the hands could also walk into the middle. And then slowly walk your hands back to the front foot and step to the front. Wrapping the arms around the legs if you want. Feet together. And then we inhale, drop the hips, raise the arms into a gentle Utkat Asana. Utkat actually means fierce. A gentle Utkat Asana. Let's go deeper. Let's go all the way down into Kagasana then. Heels on the ground if you can manage. And you could come a little bit higher with the hips as well. That's how we train, stretch into the backs there, into the Achilles tendon. And we come back into a forward fold, jumping into a plank if you want. And hold that plank. You're welcome. You want to make sure in your plank to stay in that straight line. The hips shouldn't drop, but they shouldn't be too high either, of course. And no space between the shoulder blades. So we're not bringing the shoulder blades, lots of space obviously between the shoulder blades, rather than bringing them towards each other. So broad back, and then push your hips up. Inhale, raise your left leg, and exhale, step the foot to the front. Right heel stays off the ground as we inhale into Ashvasanchalanasana, remembering everything that we did on the other side, that focus on the body, on all the sensations, and constantly being aware of the breath. And if your eyes were closed, slowly open them. So we're doing something that I would say involves using the eyes. So opening up to the right side, shifting our weight into that right leg this time. So coming to the back of the mat, raising the left leg, and into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. Different stories around Ardha Chandrasana as well, actually, not just one. But we're not staying long enough in order for me to have enough time to tell you that story. Another time, when we can stay for many minutes. Grab hold of your left foot, only if you want, just another option. You can stay where you are. And then as we did on the other side, not just yet, you might raise that right hand off the ground, hover. Step that left foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, this time interlocking the hands behind you into a little arch, and then come forwards. And the hands go as far forwards, as far towards the ground as they can here. But again, you could also just hold on to your ankles. And here I'm helpfully showing what I didn't show on the other side. But easier to see on this side anyway, as I'm facing you. And the hands could walk in between the legs, of course, to the other side. Just getting a little stretch into the arms and shoulders as well.
'Cause when you're bored, I lose my sight. It's harder.
And then slowly out of this posture, walk the hands to the front, step your left foot to the back, and make your way into a plank again. We'll hold that plank, remembering to breathe, remembering that the knees can come to the ground if things get too much, if the breath is shallow. And then slowly from here, walk your feet to the front, come into a forward fold. We bring the feet apart here to pull ourselves a little bit further if we want and can. And then from here, push your hips down, bring the hands to the heart center, coming into Malasana. The garland, And we want to keep lengthening the spine, keeping the heels on the ground if we can. Keep feeling the hips sink down. Use gravity. And from here, using gravity again to let yourself roll onto the back, and then a little bit of momentum maybe as you send your legs to the back. This is now lots of different options here. Karnapirasana, the ear pressing pose with the hands wherever you like them. But Halasana is just as fine. So straightening the legs to the back, a little bit less deep, of course. I mean, it is quite deep to have your lower legs on the ground here, especially if you feel like there's that connection of the tops of the feet with the ground as well. So again, Halasana, fine as well. Just anywhere you like. And the other option is to just be on your back and raise the legs as well. Maybe more appropriate, more comfortable for some of us. Now, if you're not already there, roll onto your back and raise the legs. So we'll join those that were already in Ardha Halasana. And we'll bring our hands onto the chest and stomach and we observe the breath. If you want, a few guided breaths are fine. If you want to sigh a little sigh, that's all good. And then slowly hug your knees in and rock from side to side. And come into a twist, right leg over the left. Hips to the right if you want, that'll make it deeper. Drop your knees to the left, turn your head to the right and just relax. Close your eyes, feel your breath and be in your body.
Too scared.
You might have thought I'd gone, but I'm still here. Slowly raise the knees and release, coming onto the back. And we change sides. Left knee on top of the right, push your knees down, decide if you want the hips a little bit further on the left-hand side. And if the eyes opened in between as you were finding the other side, then close them again now. And settle and surrender your body. And slowly raise your knees, release, and hug your knees in. Just give yourself a good stretch here. And the back. Notice how the back feels. As you may notice if the eyes are open, I like having my arms underneath the legs. So that's a lovely way for you to feel that you're not really holding yourself in place at all. The arms are holding the legs, but not actively, because the legs are holding the arms as well. Isn't that nice? And then whenever you're ready, doesn't have to be now, slowly release and come into Shavasana. You might want to stretch out first, just to make sure you get all of the kinks out of your body. Any movement that you still want to do it now. And when you're ready, again, take your time, come into Shavasana for our meditation. And if your eyes aren't closed yet, close them now. Stretch your arms out and open the palms to the ceiling. And notice how that lets the shoulders drop naturally and how it opens up the chest. Toes turn out to the sides, just allowing the whole body to become dead weight. And then take a slow breath in and slowly breathe out. And again, in through the nose and out through the nose. And then start to slow down your exhalations, breathing in for the count of 1 and out for the count of 2, without forcing that rhythm, just staying comfortable, but allowing the exhalations to become longer. In and out through the nose. Not forcing the in-breath, not forcing the out-breath. Just expanding gently on the exhalations. And then slowly relax your breath. Settle for that natural breathing pattern. Gentle in-breath and gentle out-breaths. Just that natural, spontaneous breath. Noticing how every exhalation Feels like a release. Lets your body get heavier. Allows you to relax all your muscles. As you lie here like this, start noticing all the parts of the body that are in touch with the ground. The back of the head, which parts of the arms, of the hands, the shoulders and the back, your buttocks and your legs, which parts of the heels, and allow your body to get heavy through all these parts of the body, to release any tension that you may be holding in your body and your mind. And all of your thoughts can start to drift away. They don't have to go completely. Just allow them to float around you like dust, invisible. And any emotions that might be going through you are allowed to be there, where you can let go if you're ready to let go. And if you can feel any emotions, where in your body can you locate them? Maybe in your stomach, your hips, could be your hands, chest, throat. Take a long breath in and release. And on the next few exhalations, keep allowing the body to get heavier and heavier. Allow the head to get heavy. And start feeling your neck relax and soften. The eyelids are heavy on the eyes. Start softening your jaw and your tongue. Softening the cheeks. Notice if you can feel your temples, your eyebrows and your forehead. And soften more and more until the forehead relaxes completely, until even the eyes that have slowed down their movement are becoming completely still, resting in their sockets. Notice the breath in the nostrils as a gentle and cool sensation as we inhale. A slightly warmer, almost imperceptible sensation on the exhale. Relaxing all of the face muscles. Travel down to the side of the neck, to your throat, your collarbones. Can you feel the breath there? Your shoulders getting heavy, The shoulder blades relax. And with that, the whole of the upper back softens. The mid-back relaxes. The lower back releases any tension. You may trace a line from the tailbone all the way up your spine, all the way to the neck. And the whole of the back relaxes, and the arms get heavy. The hands are heavy on the ground, and all of your fingers are soft, maybe curling in. Now notice the breath in your chest. A gentle rise and fall. In the rib cage, expanding the whole of the upper body and contracting on every exhale. Feel the movement in the stomach. And rise and fall. The expansion and the collapse. Notice the whole of the upper body getting heavy every time you exhale. Feeling the breath everywhere in the upper body as you inhale. Feeling it leave as you exhale. And on the next few exhalations, allow your hips to soften, your pelvis to relax. The sitting bones are relaxing even more. The thighs are getting heavy. The knees soften. The calves and shins relax. Feel your heels firmly on the ground, and that heaviness allows for your ankles and your feet and all of your toes to relax and be heavy. And as the whole of the body gets heavier and heavier, you breathe in relaxation and let it spread on every exhale. And you stay here, observing the body, observing the breath and that relaxation in your body. And you can keep that relaxation with you as you slowly come back into the room. Eyes can stay closed. Just develop an awareness of the room you're in. Maybe start moving the fingers and toes first. If you're ready, stretch out the arms and legs. And wake yourself up in a way that makes sense to you. If you want to stay, that's fine. If not, come onto the right side and up to seated. Moving into the neck and shoulders. Maybe the eyes are open already, maybe you're keeping them closed. And you might join me in an inhale to raise the arms and exhale, hands to the heart center.